And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting off with today's warning graphic, we've got high wind warnings out here for the central and south coast of the Panhandle, Prince of Wales Island, as well as the southern areas there, Ketchikan, Metlakatla area, and those locations over toward, but not including, Misty Fjords. And that's currently out through tonight until 10 a.m. Tuesday morning for winds of 20 gusting 35 miles an hour with gusts to 60 miles an hour or more. And from there, looking at satellite imagery, here's the storm system out here that's responsible for those warnings along the central and south coast areas in the southern Panhandle, with the center still a fair distance off to the west and southwest here today. That's bringing some light rain to Kodiak Island this afternoon after kind of grazing the area with some north winds gusting to 45 miles an hour. We had gusts to 46 miles per hour occurring at Ketchikan this afternoon, with just under an inch of rain falling over the southern areas. To the north, conditions much better, winds lighter, and precipitation much lighter as well, with some clouds up in toward Yakutat. Mid and high level clouds there. Some sunshine today for the North Gulf Coast. A lot of cirrus here into Prince William Sound area. And then some clouds and light showers here over the western part of the state, with an old system that kind of dissipated here along the southwest coast. A lot of clearing over the interior here after a pretty chilly start to the morning in the teens over the Yukon Flats in some areas and northeast of Fairbanks as well. Beaver, Chalkyitsik down to 15 degrees. And otherwise afternoon temperatures rising in the mid-50s around the greater Fairbanks area, and sunshine all the way up to Utagavik there on the Arctic coast, North Slope area, including Umiat Airfield, and then some high clouds here, or mid and high clouds, maybe some low stuff, but not too much there for the eastern Arctic coast. Another system out here over the Bering Sea, pushing eastward here. That's edging in toward the Pribilof Islands with clouds down and some light rain into the central Aleutian areas. Otherwise, on the chart today, here's that intense low center, about as strong as it's going to get now, down to 957 millibars at producing hurricane-force winds out over the southern Gulf of Alaska here, as well as the Northeast Pacific, with storm and gale warnings here developing along the central and south coast of the Panhandle, as well as over the southern inside waters there, with rain spreading northward there, pretty light here in the north, and again, as I mentioned, heavier down to the south, and the heaviest wind and rain over the Queen Charlotte Islands there, and that'll continue through tonight as that low tracks mostly to the east there. Otherwise, sunshine and a lot of sunshine, lighter winds here across all of the interior. A few more clouds here out to the west as we saw in the satellite image there, but basically not much in the way of any precipitation by this afternoon, and dry into the eastern Bering Sea with some breaks there over the eastern Aleutians. Mostly sunny along the Alaska Peninsula. Still some light rain close enough to this rain shield of this system there occurring at Kodiak Island. They only picked up about 0.15 of an inch today. Next system out here to the west, we'll see it slides off to the southeast tonight. That'll spread some rain in toward the Pribilof Islands. Rain for sure from Matka Island in across the eastern Aleutians. And then some breezy west winds and showers following that behind. No change over the interior here. Light winds, dry conditions. Fair amount of clearing here over much of the interior areas, right down to Kodiak Islands as low edges eastward. Drier northwest flow pulls into that area. And again, the high wind warnings out for gusts of 60 miles an hour there for the central and south coast of the Panhandle. Rain heavy at times. And then for tomorrow, that low tracks eastward here. And again, the high wind warnings end about 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. As you can see, the low weakening here up to 983 millibars, but still enough of a gradient there. It's going to keep it windy and wet across the central and southern southeast coast through the afternoon. And at least by in the afternoon, still looking at east to south gales with possible storm force gusts, especially off of Prince of Wales Island there, and rain heavy at times. Different story over the interior as well as the North Gulf Coast. Even the northern Panhandle could see some clearing with northeast winds blowing there, but highs in the 40s and 50s in the interior, and maybe even lower 60s again in the Susitna Valley like you saw today, with pretty good conditions all the way up to the Arctic coast. Not bad even along the west coast here, variably cloudy with light winds. And some light rain with this system from St. Paul, St. George down across Fox Islands into the Alaska Peninsula. Scattered showers for the Aleutians. Next system dropping southeastward out of the Russian Far East, pushing a front into the western Bering Sea for increasing rainfall there. And we'll see that system kind of pushes mostly to the east to the south here. So we end up with an elongated front with a couple of weak lows along the frontal boundary there, producing an area of light rain from the northwest Bering Sea, St. Lawrence Island, right on down, just clipping Nunivak Island on the west side there. Periods of rain and fog for the Pribilofs, all the way down to the eastern Aleutians, western Alaska Peninsula. A break for Adak and Atka with some high pressure ahead of the next warm front, pushing light rain, light drizzle, fog, low clouds, possible IFR to low IFR, in other words, warm front type weather into the western Aleutians. And then we have a trough here lifting northward as this system pushes east. That's going to start increasing the clouds again over Kenai Peninsula, possibly in the northern Cook Inlet. May go overcast in the afternoon here in northern Cook Inlet, definitely for the Kenai Peninsula, with increasing chances of light rain and showers for Prince William Sound. Eastward there into the northern Panhandle and along the coast. As back it up one here, this system tracks eastward, weakens rapidly there over British Columbia and no longer a factor. So much better day, actually night tomorrow night and day on Wednesday for the southern southeast coast. And for temperatures, back into the teens and 20s for the lows tonight over the eastern and northern interior up to the Brooks Range. Upper 20s, lower 30s for the Arctic coast. Upper 20s and 30s south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, and 40s for the southeast coast and 40s out to the west. Highs for tomorrow, mostly in the 40s across much of the interior. 50 to 55 for south central Alaska, the Kodiak Island, 45 to 50 Bristol Bay, upper 40s to lower 50s for the southeast coast, 30s from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast. And back into the teens and 20s for the areas here over the interior, Copper River Basin, areas of the Tanana and eastern interior areas there on up to the Brooks Range. Milder is, of course, out toward the Bering Sea to 40s for the Aleutians and in the 40s for the southeast coast, followed by highs in the 50s for the Panhandle. And staying in the upper 40s here, kind of signifying an increase in the clouds here for cooler conditions, a little bit cooler for south central Alaska. 40s right up into the interior here, lower 40s, and then 30s from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast once again.